These are all my thoughts and opinions based on public information out there. Please do your own research, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Hello, my gorgeous people. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit winded. It's just that I'm walking longer than usual today. So walking fast. Anyways, thank you for all your emails and all the information you guys send me. It's greatly appreciated. This video is about Harry, Meghan, PR, and publicity. I've been listening to a lot of newspapers, especially in GB News. I don't know if you saw that there's I think it's Nigel Farage. I'm a big fan of his. Talking to 2 or 3 other royal reporters. And they said that, as long as they can remember, when they interviewed Harry said that he didn't want to be a prince and he hated the press. I got news for people, because a lot of people, for some reason, are under the belief that the royal family are there by force. No. They're willingly there. This is not an absolute. I mean, they're not. Nobody's holding a gun to their heads. If Harry's position as spare ceased to exist the minute Prince George was born, because now the next in line was Prince George, and then the next in line Princess Charlotte, and then the next in line Prince Louis. So he's no longer relevant. So he could have easily asked for his titles to be taken away, or give up his titles of his own volition and say, you know what, I don't want to be a prince anymore. I want to be like my cousin Zara Tindall and Peter Phillips, that they have no titles. I want to do that. I don't want to be a prince anymore. I want to be a private citizen, and I want to do my own thing. I want to remain in the army. I will do my own charities as a private individual. And that would have been it. He wasn't there by force. But what he didn't like is not that he hates being a prince, because God knows he's using that prince title right, left, and center, all in the Duke titles, because before he only had the title prince. When he got married, he was given the title Duke as well. And you can see that he likes to flaunt them for personal financial purposes. So I have to give credit to Eugenie and Princess Beatrice, because Princess Beatrice works for Affinity, a company. And the picture that you see when you get this video is of her. She goes by Beatrice York. You know, she's not Her Royal Highness, and she has Her Royal Highness, and she has no limitations to use it. She goes by Beatrice York in her own private, personal life. She uses the titles for the charities, you know, and even though she attends events like Trooping of the Color, you know, and other stuff, and that's when she uses. But to their credit, both princesses use their own names for their work lives, which Prince Harry doesn't do. He could have easily given up the title Prince and lead a perfectly private life, and everybody would have understood that and respected that if he really had that trauma. So when he went on Oprah and said, "Oh, I only thought of Netflix when my dad cut me off financially, not before," it's now been proven to be a lie. And what's quite scary is the fact how easily he said that lie. "Oh, no, we didn't think about this." They did. They had signed it off. They hadn't planned to talk to Oprah. Oprah admitted, even I think on that show, even in that same show, Oprah said in that, it's not even an interview, even in that exchange of information, and very publicly, you know, that they call an interview, Oprah said that she had been talking to Meghan Markle, and that they decided that they didn't want to do the interview prior to the wedding, because of course Meghan Markle wouldn't have been able to falsely accuse people of what they did. So Prince Harry, it's not that he hated the press, it's that he hated being caught, getting caught on all the nasty things he was doing. I can guarantee you that Buckingham Palace had a full-time job covering up for Prince Harry. All the stupidity, trying to get him into, they got him in, as an officer, nonetheless, in the army. So that must have been a full-time job to cover up all the nastiness of this man, trying to portray a false image of this guy. Because what you're seeing right now, Harry married somebody who was just as nasty as he was, who was willing to indulge, not only approve and condone of his nasty behavior, but indulge it, you know, and say, great, keep at it, be more nasty, be nastier, you know. So, but these are just my thoughts and opinions, obviously. So Harry claims that he hated the press and he didn't want to be a prince. And then he lies to get another title and promises, even during that interview, the engagement, that he wants to want to be one of the team and blah, blah, blah. And you can see in Meghan's face that that is not the case. And then we have Meghan. Shalon Lester was an editor-in-chief of magazines, and where Meghan Markle was a source. So she actually apparently either had contact with her or, you know, she was getting information from Meghan Markle. And she stated that Meghan Markle, an unknown actress, had at one point 3 PR firms when she was a nobody, because she wanted her name out there every day. I mean, Meghan Markle is a lowlife. Can you imagine having an unknown actress having to pay 3 PR firms? And even then, they couldn't get her out of, you know, where she was, because she has no talent. Now, in regards to people who tell me she was absolutely successful, she had the TIG, I'm going to put things into perspective. The only major role she's ever had was a supporting role in a B-list cable show filmed in Canada. At the height of that thing, she started the TIG. And one of her main sponsors was that poop spray. Just to put things into perspective, it wasn't a website for social justice for women or black people or anything like that. It was a website about fine dining and getting as many sponsors as possible to pay for it, because she was not making the millions she claims that people keep going about and popping about, saying that she was a millionaire. No. So to put things into perspective, a very little known poop spray was one of her major sponsors for the TIG, to put things into perspective. Now, I got to tell you, I got a few emails from people saying that I'm stupid because how dare I compare the monarchy to presidency. First of all, I have never said that the monarchy and presidents is the same thing. What I have said is that the monarch of the United Kingdom is the head of state, which is a government. She represents the government. So she works for the government. It is a government position. Therefore, the website, the official website, is a governmental website. Many of you have written to Buckingham Palace asking them to remove Harry and Meghan. And of course, it has fallen on deaf ears, just like pretty much everything has fallen on deaf ears. Many of you, even in the comments, you say, oh, Lady C is now saying that, yeah, she doesn't agree. Good, she has her own opinion. I've been saying this for the longest time, because it is completely incredible that they have him there. They're using an official website. The monarchy right now is using an official website, which is there and paid for by the taxpayers. The website and the people who manage it is not paid from the monarchy's pocket. It is paid for by the taxpayers of the United Kingdom, because it is an official website. So I want to put things into perspective. It's always good to put things into perspective. Part of the funding that people pay, that the monarchy gets money for, is the website, which is now a huge thing, because, you know, it's basically what's used the most. So you UK taxpayers are paying for that website. And in that website, having Harry and Meghan saying that they stepped back. They didn't step back, they quit. They didn't, they're not sharing their time. And I've repeated myself here. They're sharing their time between the UK and North America, and that Frogmore Cottage is their family home, and that Harry represents the values of the Queen, the UK, and Commonwealth. All those things are lies. So when an official website is stating lies about former employees, putting them there, it's not acceptable. So, and people have written to Buckingham Palace. So that advice that apparently they got is wrong. You should write to your MPs, asking them or telling them, we have written to Buckingham Palace. Or whenever you send a letter, put with copy, CC, the bottom, to Parliament or to your MP or whatever you want to do. Because Buckingham Palace is not going to take action. They will never do that. They don't care if they keep lying about things, because the things that they're doing is a lie. They shouldn't have. And for the people, and this is the part that I say, that this is, when I give comparison, guys, I'm not saying that they're exactly like that. I'm just trying to give you an idea, because of course a monarchy is not the same as a presidency. But having said that, the UK monarchy is still in the United Kingdom because of the will of the people. The minute the people say we no longer want a monarchy, if they held a referendum and they said we no longer want a monarchy, that's gone. All of the castles that are Crown State property go back to the government. They can be turned into museums, offices, or whatever. You won't have a monarchy. This is not something that, it's going to stay here forever and people have to take it. No, it's not like that at all. Let me give you another example. If Canada wants to leave the Commonwealth, that would mean that the monarch of the United Kingdom will no longer be our head of state. We will no longer have the monarch's face and our money. You know what I mean? So no, I wasn't saying that the monarchy is like a presidency. But if you're going to write and you want to complain about that, you have to report. And yes, many people will tell you the British royal family manage it, which is correct. But since the British royal family are putting falsehoods and lies in an official website, and you have written to them and they still refuse to move them, you are reporting them to Parliament. That's the next step. You know what I mean? That's the next step to do. So whenever you write a letter to Buckingham Palace, at the very bottom, put CC, and to Parliament, or to a person in Parliament, or Homeland, or the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So Buckingham Palace knows that it's not only them receiving the letters, but somebody else. You know what I mean? Because they're not listening. It's like that petition that was started to ask Harry to please give up his titles. Why would he give up his titles? He clearly doesn't want to give up his titles. He's trying to exploit the hell out of it. Now, I wanted to tell you something really quickly, because I don't want to make this too long. Netflix. You know how Snoop Dogg has invited supposedly Harry and Meghan to his Thanksgiving dinner. Snoop Dogg, John Bon Jovi, J-Lo, Ben Affleck, many others are Sunshine Sachs is their PR firm. So you can see the links between them. It's not that Snoop Dogg is in love with them. No, this is all a PR ploy. Meghan Markle is not popular. Meghan Markle thought that being a duchess, she was going to have the doors of Hollywood. People were going to throw the doors that were firmly shut on her face were going to be open because she was a duchess. No. People can spot a hack, a phony, and somebody with no talent. And this is why she doesn't get the roles. This is why Meghan Markle is not working and not getting any roles in her thing. And one other thing that's very terrible. Princess Diana was not a narcissist. Princess Diana would have been mortified to know that one of her sons owes money to a charity, like Harry does. He owes a little bit less than $200,000 to a charity. Because who does that? You know what I mean? And on top of that, he's going around pledging. He pledged $25,000 to this lady in Harlem. And I don't know if the school got the washer and dryer that Procter & Gamble said that they were going to give them. I don't know if they got it, because that was another pledge. He pledged 1.5 million pounds, almost $2 million, from the sales of a book that he hasn't even written. And he doesn't know whether it's going to make any money, instead of actually giving the money directly. Okay, you know what? I got an advance of $5 million. Here's $1.5 million. That's how it is in charities. Princess Diana would have been mortified because she was a blue blood. You know, she would have thought it's beneath her. She was a patron of charity. She showed up to raise funds for these charities, and then they would give this money once the funds were there. She didn't pledge, oh, we're going to give you $2 million in a year's time. Can you imagine? That would have been so terrible. So Netflix, Harry's not complaining about Netflix. I don't know why people are surprised. He does not care. To be fair, Prince William hasn't said anything. But then again, you know, they're used to their mother being exploited. I guess that for Prince William is a big shock that now it's his own brother who's exploiting his dead mother. And Meghan Markle is a complete fraud and fake. Please beware that it's not that she didn't understand the role, because the Queen was really smart to give her two most senior advisors to educate her about what the role was. So Meghan Markle would make an informed decision. Meghan Markle knew that she was never going to be working as a royal family. As soon as she got that wedding thing, her thoughts went, how am I going to get out of here, because they're being too nice to me. So she had to make up stuff. She had to lie. And for the royal family to still have him on that official website is a slap on the face of the people. I'm glad Lady C is finally saying that. I mean, I am really happy, because I know she has a lot of followers. But please, if you're going to write, copy somebody else in Parliament. Don't just send a letter to Buckingham Palace, because they're not listening. Okay, this has to be very public, and you guys have to be very vocal. You know, put on all your Twitter accounts, if you have Twitter, put on all your Twitter accounts and tag the royal family, saying remove Harry from the royal website. He no longer works there. But these are just my thoughts and opinions. What do you guys think?